YouTube, hey, you may have seen some of my videos before about Brunswick stew from Old Hickory House. And I love Old Hickory House, and one of the things I love about their Brunswick stew is there's no lima beans in it. And a lot of people in Georgia, talk about when you make Brunswick stew, it's got to have lima beans, which, I'm just telling you that the stew I grew up on at Hickory House does not have lima beans. And I don't want lima beans in my Brunswick stew. And this Brunswick stew is from JR's, which is in Norcross, JR's Barbecue. And this is one that's in the log cabin. And you know what? Their Brunswick stew, guess what? No lima beans. No lima beans, no potatoes, and no early peas. None of those things. So you'll see things on the internet from time to time where people say, oh, this is the Brunswick stew that JR's uses, or this is the Brunswick stew that Old Hickory House uses, the recipe at least. And it'll always include one of the three or all of the three ingredients I just told you about. Lima beans, potatoes, or early peas. Sometimes it'll call for rice. And people will be like, this is just what JR's has. This is just what Old Hickory House has. Well, they don't use any of those things, which is great. It's just meats, tomatoes, corn. It's in a savory sauce. There's onions in it. There's also a big debate on whether JR's and Old Hickory House are the same Brunswick stew, and you know what? They're not. They taste different, but it's a very subtle difference. Some of the main similarities are the fact that they both have tomatoes, they both have corn, they both have pork, they both have chicken, they both have ground beef, they both have, those kind of items, but they're lacking all the other, what I will call junk, that people put in Brunswick stew that, on their own are delicious. I love lima beans by themselves. I love peas. I love black-eyed peas. I love split pea soup. I love rice. I don't want it, though, in my Brunswick stew. I want meat, tomatoes, corn, savory goodness. And that's what JR's has. Now, both JR's and Old Hickory House have Red Rooster sauce, which, it's hard to get Red Rooster sauce in the store. You can't buy it, but you can buy Texas Pete Hotter hot sauce. And Texas Pete Hotter is dynamite, and it's cheap. It's like $1. A lot of people don't know this, but Red Rooster, while delicious, has tons of salt in it. Like 2.5 times the salt per serving that this Texas Pete Hotter has. So you should check this out at Walmart sometime and mix it in with your Brunswick stew or your other savory dishes. Thanks for watching.